And so I really appreciate what you said, that there's a lot of this tokenism that we get too happy about. It's like with a lot of these token gestures, Sheikh, I believe that some of the Muslims get too happy and some of the non-Muslims become too mad. How is it really changing your life? Not really.
I look for protection from Allah.
Yeah, when you talk about this tokenism, I believe I see that with this adhan issue here in Canada. You've mentioned that, alhamdulillah, that since, what was it, 1979, 1980, they've been giving the adhan on the loudspeakers in Michigan at Maghrib time. Here, they started doing that.
All five prayers.
Oh, mashallah, all five prayers. We're getting so excited for one. We're getting so excited for Maghrib. You know, we're celebrating. You know, we're making like a preemptive Eid celebration. So here, everyone is so happy, so excited. Okay, they're giving adhan. Now you're having these Islamophobes coming out of the woodwork. Oh, Sharia law. This is like giving me post-traumatic stress disorder and all these different things. But, you know, I remember I was speaking to somebody about this before. I said, that's fine. You give the adhan. Beautiful. Alhamdulillah. This is a great, maybe motivational thing for Muslims. But now are you going to sit on your hands and not give da'wah? Because now who's going to take the narrative? The Islamophobes, they're going to start taking the narrative. You've opened the conversation. People are going to talk about it. You know what I mean? But the real da'wah to confront these stereotypes, the real da'wah to actually be in the long game, to fight injustice, to change policy, to correct the deficiencies in institutions, that takes time, that takes effort, that takes patience, that takes sometimes a lot of losses before you can rack up a win. And so I really appreciate what you said, that there's a lot of this tokenism that we get too happy about. It's like with a lot of these token gestures, Sheikh, I believe that some of the Muslims get too happy and some of the non-Muslims become too mad. How is it really changing your life? Not really. You know what I mean? So you get some of the Muslims get way too happy as if they've just won the Battle of Badr. And then you have others that just get so mad as if it's the apocalypse.
Well, there's a saying, "Man izza bil ghayrillah dhalla." So whoever seeks izzah, whoever seeks dignity in other than Allah, they're going to be humiliated, right? And I think part of the problem is there we go again, is that we as Muslims, number one, we shouldn't expect people to just go along with everything that we want, because that's not the way that the disbelievers dealt with the Anbiya alayhimus salam, number one. And at the same time, if we think that we're just going to be going around people pleasing or doing this and doing that and think that we're going to get people's respect, what people respect is, and this is in the English language, you don't ask for respect, you command respect. So we have to stand up and have a backbone and just assert ourselves, of course, with proper adab and proper manners, but we shouldn't be going around asking permission for anyone, for people to accept us. We are respectful and we do what we do under the color of the law of us living in the lands that we live in. But if they don't like, if some people like we're doing, so what? Yeah, so what? So what? Yeah. So what? I don't like all what you do. I don't like you as a man marrying another man. So what? You know? Yeah.
And then you'll have, like, you know, people coming, like, with a politician coming in with a kufi, and people getting so happy, but maybe that politician's policies are harming Muslims. You know, so it's like, oh, he came to the masjid, I'm going to vote for him, he wore a kufi. You know what I mean?
This is Obama. Obama held White House iftars. So this shows you how and this is a lack of izzah. Going to this word izzah, right? Is that while Gaza is being bombed, it was like the year or the year before the last year of Obama's administration, Gaza is being bombed by the Israeli occupational forces. So while Gaza is being bombed by the Israeli occupational forces, it's Ramadan. So Obama invites the Muslims to iftar, and then the Israeli ambassador is invited, and then the first words Obama starts talking about is that we all agree Israel has the right to defend itself. And then none of those Muslims got up and left. They stood there like, I don't want to eat hummus I don't care if Barack Hussein Obama says Ramadan Mubarak and Assalamu alaikum, and he has some halal lamb with some hummus and some gulab jamun. I don't care about that, right? But some of these Muslims are so happy and taking pictures and so happy with Obama, and Obama was a dhalim, straight up dhalim, right? But he said Assalamu alaikum, and his middle name is Hussein, so the Muslims lost their minds.
Yeah, they were so happy they had a Hussein in the White House, but they were still in the doghouse, Sheikh. The Muslims were still in the doghouse. Well,
they had someone with the name Hussein in the White House, but they didn't have the courage like Hussein radiallahu anh in dealing with that Hussein.
Do I feel that the New York police are providing enough protection, or do I have to have protection of my own? I look for protection from Allah.